We are going to graph this parabola from standard form. The first thing we are going to do, we decide if it opens up or down. This one opens downwards, and the width is wider. It opens down because a is negative, and it's wider because the absolute value of 1/2 is going to be less than 1. So the next thing we do is we decide what the vertex will be, which is negative b over 2a, negative 2 over 2 times negative 1/2, which will give us negative 2 divided by negative 1, or 2. So the vertex will be 2, and the axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Now I'm going to graph my axis of symmetry. And I'm going to substitute 2 in for x into the equation. Negative 1/2 times 2 squared plus 2 times 2 minus 3. 2 squared is going to give me 4 times negative 1/2 is negative 2, plus 4 gives me 2, minus 3 gives me negative 1. So the y-coordinate of the vertex is negative 1. Now I can plot this point right here and figure out what other points I need to find in order to graph the rest of the parabola. So I'm going to pick 1 and 0 and 3 and 4. If I substitute in 0, I will get negative 3. If I substitute in 4, I also get negative 3. If I substitute in 1, negative 1/2 times 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 3. 1 squared is 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 1/2 plus 2 is 1.5 minus 3 is negative 1.5, which is negative 3 over 2, negative 3 over 2. So I'm going to graph these. At 0 we have negative 3, and at 4 we have negative 3, and at 1 we have negative 1.5, and at 3 we have negative 1.5. So all I need to do is connect the points to form the parabola. The last thing I need to do is find my y-intercept, which is already in my table. My y-intercept is 0, negative 3. So the y-intercept here is 0, negative 3. On this slide we have a parabola that opens up, and since our a is 2, it's going to be narrower than the y equals x squared graph. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to make a table for the y equals ax squared, which in our case is 2x squared. So I'm going to start plugging in the numbers negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. At negative 2 we have 4 times 2 is 8. At negative 1 we have 2. At 0 we have 0, 1 is 2, and at 2 we have 8. So this is the first part which I'm going to plug with my regular normal black pencil. I have a 0, 0, 0, 2. 1, 2, and negative 1, 2, and 2, 8, and negative 2, 8. So after plotting these points, I can try to form my parabola. Again, my stylus doesn't work perfect for me. After this, we are going to decide what our age and k is. So if we look at the equation, age is going to be 4 and k is going to be 1. So the vertex of our parabola is 4, 1, which means we are going to move the parabola 4 to the right and 1 unit up. So the new vertex is going to be here, and our axis of symmetry of this graph is going to be x equals 4. So I'm going to move my parabola 4 to the right and 1 up. So I'm just plotting these points. Again, 4 to the right and 1 up. If I can use the stylus, perfect. 4 to the right and 1 up. So now I will have my parabola that is right here. So the only thing we need to decide is our y-intercept. To find that, we replace x by 0. So y will equal to 2 times 0 minus 4 squared plus 1. So y will equal to 16 times 2 is 32 plus 1 is 33. So our y-intercept will be 0, 33, or I could also write it 0, 33. To graph this parabola from intercept form, again we decide if it opens up or down. Since a is positive 1, it opens up, and the width is going to be the same as the y equals x squared. The next thing we do is we are going to fill in the table the intercepts, where the x-intercepts, where y is going to be 0. So one of them is going to be 4, the other one is negative 3. So I plot those 2 points, negative 3 and positive 4, and find the value halfway between them, which is at 1/2. So I'm going to graph that axis of symmetry at 1/2. X equals 1/2. And I'm going to now find the y-coordinate of the vertex. So I'm going to say y equals 1/2 minus 8/2. 8/2 is the same as 4/1 times 1/2 plus 6/2. So this will give me negative 7/2, and this will give me positive 7/2. So if I multiply them together, I get negative 49/4, or negative 12 1/4. This point will be slightly out of my graph. So here is negative 11, negative 12. So negative 12 1/4 will be approximately there. So now I'm going to choose another 2 points. So I'll choose negative 1 and I'll choose 2. Y equals negative 1 minus 4 times negative 1 plus 3 will give me negative 10. So I have negative 10 here and negative 10 here. So at 2 I get negative 10, and at negative 1 I get negative 10. So I can connect these points to graph my parabola. After graphing the parabola, I can also find the y-intercept. At the y-intercept, my x-coordinate is going to be 0. So I'm substituting in 0 for x. Y equals 0 minus 4 times 0 plus 3, which will give me negative 12. So my y-intercept is 0, negative 12. And I have all the parabola graphed.